back to the channel. Today I am painting the hood and other random miscellaneous stuff for the Hellcat so we can finally get the whole body put back together on it, minus the flares. I do have the flares already painted, but what I want to do is cut and buff the fenders and the bumper, ceramic coat it, then put the flares on and buff those and ceramic coat those as well. So we will have the whole front end on the Hellcat, just minus the flares, and it will, you know, I'm just so excited to see this thing done. So let's head over, grab the hood, grab everything else, and then start prepping it to get painted, which you know, will probably take all day. So last night I painted the bottom of the Hellcat hood, as well as I sealed the front bumper, and I sealed the two little inlet ducts for the hood. I really don't like how those look just black, so I'm gonna paint match them. And usually you can paint both sides of the hood at once with a stand like this. Brandon has a hood stand, but the issue with the Hellcat hood is there isn't anything on the top to hook the stand to. So it's just very, very smooth. And what I ended up doing, as you guys can see, is I painted the bottom of the hood. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna scuff this edge like I always do. And then I'm gonna back mask right here. And then I'll have clear painted around onto this edge, which will make it very durable. And if if I ever applied vinyl or anything to this hood, I wouldn't have to worry about wrapping the vinyl around the edges and it peeling the clear, because the clear is going to be wrapped around the edges. So that is one tip. Make sure that you wrap clear around edges when you clear something or paint something, just because if you do a hard line off of the edge, you're almost 100% guaranteed that you're going to peel that clear eventually if you apply any decals to take them off or anything like that. So I'm gonna 600 the bumper, 600 those little ducts, flip the hood over, actually back or mask the hood, flip it over. And another thing about these hoods is it has this weird hump in the front because of all the intake stuff, and it doesn't like to sit on stands, so it's very sketchy. Just finished backmasking the hood, and pretty much backmasking is applying a soft paint line on a surface. So it doesn't have to just be the edge of the hood. It could be a quarter panel, a rocker panel, anything where you don't want a hard line. And a hard line is pretty difficult to get out. What backmasking does is the clear kind of wraps around the tape and kind of fades out. So if you do it on a quarter panel, if you're doing let's say you're doing a blend and you backmask it, you could actually wet sand it with 1,000, 800,000, 1,500, whatever, and then buff it out, and you'll have a really nice, transition instead of a really hard line. So I just pretty much taped, I wanted to find a spot that you can see it. I just taped the edge of the hood because I knew I was gonna have to 600 it anyway. So right here you can see where you can barely see it, but it's really, there's a little bit of paint right there. It's a really hard line, and hard lines actually can peel up a lot easier. So if I actually applied tape to this edge right here and wrapped it around and then peeled the tape this way, it's, there's a very good chance that it could pull the paint, even though I scuffed it very well and sanded it with 600 grit. So it's just a tip. Backmasking is pretty easy. All you do is apply the tape. You just pretty much tape something down like this, and then all you're doing is pulling one side of the tape up, and then it makes it really easy to actually stick other tape to it when you're applying the paper to fill and everything. So just a little tip to do that. Now I'm gonna pretty much just sand the edges, and the bottom of the hood is already prepped. So all we have to do is really scuff those edges, seal it, and get some color on it. Got the floor wet in the paint booth. The hood is set up. I had to use two stands just because it sits so weird. It doesn't like to sit on one stand, and I don't want it to fall off. So it is 600. What I'm gonna do is seal it. The bumper is as well. And the bumper, I just need to pretty much hit a few spots with sealer. And then I have the ducts over here. I just finished hitting everything with the cleaner. This time I'm gonna actually use a paint suit because it seemed like I got a little bit, I was using these white rags and they have a bunch of lint on them. I'm not exactly sure if the lint came off of the rag when I wiped the bumper, because I did hit it with a tack cloth, but this time I'm gonna hit it with, I've already hit it with a microfiber, then I'm going to hit it with a tack cloth, but I'm also gonna wear a paint suit just in case some of the little tiny fine lint got on my clothes, so it doesn't blow onto the hood or the bumper, just because once you do get any kind of debris or something like that on the surface, the mid coat will pull around it and it'll make a dark spot. Same thing that we kind of had an issue with Trevor Supra, but we'll try to kind of mitigate that in the first stages and then just kind of go from there. So hopefully we can get these coated, and then tomorrow I can put them on the car, or maybe later tonight, depending if it snows or not. I could throw them on the car because they should be completely cured in, I think, 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours. So this is the production clear, so it goes a little bit quicker and it dries a little bit quicker and gets harder a little bit faster than you know, the lower quality clear. And you can see down here I have everything back masked like I showed you guys before, and it pretty much I'll just wrap the clear around the bottom. When I spray it, I'll just spray the clear like this, and it'll cover that edge, which will make it so it doesn't peel back later on. Man, does the Hellcat look sexy with that hood. I'm really glad how it's coming out. I need to still get a bunch of clips, miscellaneous clips I didn't really know that I needed. So there's a bunch of rivets that hold this bumper so it stays straight. I also need to put some nuts over there on the back of the bumper and kind of pull it against the fender a little bit better. The hood's a little bit high, I think, right now. I need to lower the latch a little bit, but otherwise, everything lined up pretty well. I need to do some finishing touches lining the hood up. I mean, it was really kind of a pain trying to get this thing to line up. I'm really glad that I actually paint matched these inserts. It just made it look a lot better, as well as deleted the little dimples for the license plate holes that you're supposed to drill, because I'm never going to drill those. So I also need to put the lower grill in, as well as the lower lip and all the flares and everything. But what I want to do first, I've already started to do on this fender, is I've 3000'd it and I started to polish it because I want to ceramic coat it, and I want to do that with the hood, the front bumper, the other fender, the inserts, and get it all nice and good to go so it looks really, really nice and clear. And actually it came out extremely well, and it looks so much better than when I got it. I just couldn't, I mean, the car just looks so good. I've seen them around, but this one's mine, and it's just a whole lot different. My friend Nate was helping me out tonight, kind of assemble this, and we just got done picking his Pathfinder up. But you know, it always helps putting hoods on and everything when there's two people instead of one. But I can't wait till this is all the way done so I can actually truly drive it around finished, and it will just be so much better. So what I really need to do is put the fender liners in, those little pieces in, as well as all of this stuff right here, which shouldn't take too long once I get those clips. I also did notice that the Hellcat bumper support is different than the Scat Pack bumper support, or the absorber. So I had to order a new absorber, so the bumper is temporarily on until I get the new absorber. But I'm really excited how everything came out. So I'm gonna end the video here, and can't wait till all this is back together with the flares and everything on. But if you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you next time.